So one of the most anticipated cameras to come out for the Panasonic Lumix is the S1H II. It has been over 6 years now since the original S1H came out and really took the full frame market by storm at the time. Today the landscape has been changed, but we kind of are getting a little bit closer to what we can expect from an S1H II with the release of the Leica SL3-S. Today, I'm going to give a quick rundown of the Leica SL3-S, why it is important to give an understanding of what may to come with the S1H II, and I'm going to give my expectations of what we're going to see in an S1H based on history with Panasonic as well as what we now know with the SL3-S. What's going on, everybody? My name is James Jackson. If you're new here, I do tips, tricks, news, and reviews for the film and video making industry. So if this is content that you like, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that button so you can stay up to date on all the content going forth. And if you do want to continue to show your support for the channel, it would really appreciate that if you become one of my members. I do upload exclusive content up here as well. So definitely check out seeing about becoming a member. I would love to have you and have you guys join. So let's quickly give a rundown of what we know about the newly released Leica SL3-S. Essentially, this is a 24 megapixel version of the Leica SL3 using the same technology that is in that sensor, but in a smaller megapixel sensor. In terms of the video capabilities, it's able to shoot 5.9K open gate up to 30 frames a second. It can shoot 5.8K in Apple ProRes, and it's able to shoot Apple ProRes 4K up to 30 frames a second using the full frame, or 4K 60 using the Super 35 crop mode, thanks to the newly installed CF Express card slot along with the one SD card slot. Other things to note is that it will shoot internal ProRes RAW as well, and it comes at a pretty premium price of, I believe, $5,500. But that's Leica for you. Other features also include a content confirmation where you can it will approve or sort of confirm the authentication of content that you take with the SL3-S, which is really appreciated, especially given the world that we live in right now, as well as a very high megapixel EPF, even though there is not a fully articulating tilt screen on this. Now, why am I bringing up the Leica SL3-S in relationship to the Panasonic Lumix S1H II? Well, it's been rumored and reported for quite some time that the Panasonic S1H II is going to share the same sensor and technology as the Leica SL3-S. So given the fact that we now have the Leica SL3-S out, we kind of can sort of gauge what we can now really expect from a S1H II. And my thoughts are
not great, not terrible.
I think one of the things that is going to be most apparent is that the rolling shutter is going to be improved from the S1H, but it's not going to be anywhere close to leading industry in terms of like the Sony FX3, the A7S III, the Canon R5 II or R3 or R1. This is going to be somewhere in the middle range, around 15 milliseconds, I believe. So definitely improvement, but it's not going to be any game-changing improvements in terms of that, which also then leads us into some of the other things, which is the 4K 60 still being a crop in the Leica SL3-S, which is a bit concerning. But Panasonic Lumix is going to obviously sprinkle their own flavors into it with their IBIS and with their phase detection autofocus, and I would assume they're going to come with that fully articulating LCD screen with the tilt thing that was like really like basically started by the original S1H. So those are things that I expect to change from the SL3-S that we're going to see in the S1H II. I think it's very clear in terms of my expectations, there's not going to be a 10-bit 422 open gate recording options, and very unlikely we'll get to see a open gate option that goes up to 60 frames a second, it's most likely going to be limited to 30 frames a second once again. The other thing that is very, very clear to me is that the odds are that there's going to be a full frame 4K 120 option is like not happening, and very likely that we won't even see a 4K 120 option in the S1H II. So with these parameters, what are my ceiling and floor expectations of the Panasonic Lumix S1H II? Well, for me, the floor is basically the Leica SL3-S with better IBIS and better autofocus with face detection autofocus overall, and a better articulating screen. The ceiling now for me is that this is essentially going to be the Lumix GH7 in a full frame sensor and body minus 4K 120. That to me is the ceiling of the S1H II. Essentially, you're going to get all the features and love that's in the GH7, aka the 32-bit float recording internally with that additional audio kit. You'll get the ARRI Alexa Log C color profile that you have to pay extra for. And then you will get internal ProRes RAW, you will get the 4K up to 60 frames a second in the full readout speed, and you get to shoot that in ProRes, and then you also get to shoot 5.8K ProRes up to 30 frames a second. That's essentially what I believe is going to be like the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is you're going to get the SL3-S, meaning you're going to still have a 4K 60 crop, but you will have better IBIS and better face detection autofocus and a better articulating screen for less money. But I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, look, a GH7 minus 4K 120 is just enough for you guys. And I know a lot of people would be really, really happy with just that. And some people may just be happy with the SL3-S with a fully articulating screen with better IBIS and better AF. However, me personally, I personally think, just given the market space and given that what we have in the market right now, that to me personally is just not enough of a sell, in my personal opinion. Feel free to disagree with me, but I definitely would love to know what you guys think. Is a GH7 minus 4K 120 a good enough option for you for an S1H II? I would love to know what you guys think. Let me know. Leave your comments down below. And as always, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, take care, everyone.